It's BT with the BT Motogp Jerez review. Let's get right to it. As Florida Evans from Good Times once famously said, damn, damn, damn. How great was that race in MotoGP? But you know how we started off Moto3. Moto3, David Alonso, it happens, bro. He fell, but he showed like a champion. He got back up and started kicking ass through the field and still got some points. Props to him. But the ride of the race goes to Colin Vieira. Colin Vieira is a big kid and he's underrated. So he's got the Fabio Di Giannantonio syndrome when he was in Moto3, too big for the bike. And Dennis Anchu, God bless you. They both were too big for the bike, and that's why they didn't do so well. So he's got to win this year. If not, he's got to go to Moto2 because he's just too damn big. He's like in the Tour de France. He's like in cycling. He can be the lead out guy, but he can also win the race from that position. So if he was, there's no. That's why they race. I mean, even though Alonso was blistering fast, I think Colin Vieira could have kept up with him. He's a big kid, but he's a good kid, and he's fast. So watch out for him. He was my rider of the race because he held off that swarming group of teenagers, man, like a rabid group of dogs after him, like a pack of dogs. He held them off. So he's my rider of the race. Watch Colin Vieira toward the end of the year, but I think it's going to be David Alonso. But hey, man, who knows? That's why they race. You get the Moto2. Moto2, heartbreak goes to Jake Dixon, man. I think he'll get it, but he's my only heartbreak because the rider of the race, call me a homie, but I love my homeboy. That's Joe Roberts. Joe Roberts does Americans well because he's just so laid back. I mean, I know Europeans always, talk about the Yanks. Look at the Yanks. And we're all loud, and that's how we are. But Joe is like, hey, dude, hey, sorry I passed you. And sorry, I cut you off. You know what I mean, dude? I cut your nose off. That's not how I do, bro. Let's go have a fish taco and talk about it. Cool, bro? Namaste. And that's what Joe Roberts is. He does us well. The only Americans right now that are going to get in the championship series might be Max Toft. And then Christian Daniel, watch out for Christian Daniel Jr. in the Red Bull Rookies Cup. Give him another couple years. He might be in Moto3. I think he will. But it's going to be at least another 2 or 3 years before that happens. Juju Monster or Juju Korea, watch out for him. Also, I think he's going to get Red Bull Rookies Cup next year and possibly Moto3 after that. So watch out for those two guys. But it's going to be a while for a viable American. I think Joe Roberts is I think he's going to get the Trackhouse bike if he finishes in the top 3. And one of those guys, Raul or Miguel's going to have to move. That's just how it is. So I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Raul. I think Joe Roberts is going to go. I talk out of my ass, okay? I'm just going what I see. And I think he'll go to Trackhouse, and I think they'll move Raul. He'll go someplace else. Anyway, to get the MotoGP. Ride of the race in MotoGP for both days. Fabio Quartararo for what he did. He was damn near next to last, and he finished in the points, 15th, and a podium on a sprint race. I mean, that right there shows he deserves all that money because he's riding a bike. He's riding a cow that is disguised as a MotoGP bike. I mean, seriously, man. What Fabio Quartararo did, but he had to give it up because he had too low tire pressure. But because you know why? Because his mechanics had low tire pressure because they thought he was going to go through the pack. He'll be stuck in the pack, and they didn't want his tire pressure inflating, so they gave him low tire pressure on purpose. They didn't realize that Fabio is a motherfucking man, and that's what he did. So props to him, and props to Danny Pedrosa. Listen, by the way, heartbreak goes to Jorge Two Pump Chump Martin. He's got to get better, Jorge. I mean, he slid out on Sunday. Nobody slid out on Sunday. So he's got to get that better. But when he does, ooh, it's going to get spicy, as they say. Spicy like a kielbasa. So Fabio is my man. We got to do this separately, I think. The sprint race deserves more attention because in that sprint race is damn near scary. It really is. The crashes. And if I could describe that race in a song, it would be slip sliding away, slip sliding away. When you want to get a podium and you got no traction because you hit a wet spot, slip sliding away. Yeah, they hit a wet spot. I'm not going to go there. But the track has a hard time drying out. It really does. Like Marquez said, he hit a patch maybe 20 centimeters long. Don't ever do it to a man, by the way, ladies. But anyway, he hit a patch and he slid out. It happened, but that was kind of scary. The sprint races are scary because, they're all going for it. But props to everybody for going for it. But I thought it was a great sprint race. Props to Pedro Acosta. I got no problem with Pedro Acosta. I just think they put so much on him, and it's only been, 4 races in. And somebody said this, and it was true. They said, listen, Pedro Acosta hadn't had the big crash yet, the one that makes you go afterwards, you're like, oh, my mama. That kind of race, that kind of crash where afterwards your confidence is shaking up and you're like, I don't know if I want to get on a motorcycle again. Somebody get my mama. And that's what he had in his warm-up practice where he crashed into the fence, the bike almost hit him, and he was doing his hands like this. Yeah, he kind of played that off, but I think that shook him up a little. I really do. I think it shook him up a little, but still, props to him. He got points. He got 10th. Props to him, man. So, but listen, let's just get to the race. Marquez is still must-see TV. And I don't know about you guys, but I was watching it by myself, thank God, in my this lonely-ass apartment, the one that I'll probably end up, anyway. I watched it and I was just like the whole time. I don't think did anybody breathe during that time? And you have like a respirator, like during the COVID years, you were like, you look like Hannibal Lecter, like, Marquez, he's gonna win the race and have champagne Prosecco with some fava beans. What he did, just watching Marquez, like I said, he's the straw that stirs the drink. And I just love the way he races. I couldn't breathe. And I was like the black Gigi. I was like, the whole time, just, I don't know what Gigi's thinking. Like, if I was the black Gigi, I'd be like, that motherfucker better not wreck my bike. Motherfucker wrecks my bike, he's off the team. Damn, motherfucker gonna wreck my bike. And so I was thinking, man, and it was just, what Marquez did, he played it perfect. He gave him a little leeway. Like he said, he was kind of nervous about, the day before sliding out, and what he did, damn. And listen, I think Rossi had an effect, and we got to talk about the Rossi effect too, because listen, here's the way I think it's going to happen, okay? And this is me talking out of my ass. I don't know for sure, but here's the way I think it's going to be, okay? I think Alicia is going to call it quits, be a test rider, and ride that 1 year in cycling or whatever. I think this is Alicia's last year. I think Alicia's, hey, give my boy Jorge 2-pump chump, let him have the Aprilia. I think he would murder it on the Aprilia. It'd be him and Maverick together on the Aprilia. Damn. But he really wants that Ducati seat. Now, if Marquez does what Marquez does, and this goes on for the end of the year, if he outpoints Jorge, Ducati's got a little problem on their hands. They really like, hey, it's like Scarface. Hey, we got some problems. And they're going to have some problems. And do you want Marquez and Pecco on the same team? And then all of a sudden, Valentino comes in the paddock every now and then to check on his boy? By the way, isn't Valentino a Yamaha ambassador? Isn't that weird? He's like, yeah, I ride a Ducati, but it identifies as a Yamaha. Yeah. So, and I need a special bathroom too. I shouldn't have said that. But still, Rossi rides a Ducati. His team rides Ducatis, but he's a Yamaha ambassador. That makes no goddamn sense. And he still hates Marquez, you can just tell. So there's that little tension there when Rossi's there and Marquez riding a Ducati. So you put Marquez in a Ducati seat, and as much as I love Marquez, this is why I couldn't be a team manager, is that do you bring a 31, 32-year-old Marquez, no matter how great you are, into a Ducati team where you might have one more really viable year you can win a championship? Or do you bring a young Jorge in where he's on the verge of winning a championship and he's still going to ruffle the feathers of Pecco? But I still think they do the beast wrong. They really do. The beast has been done wrong. But yeah. So, and also, no one's talking about this. Rossi's over there hobnobbing with Pecco, and he sent his half-brother to fucking Repsol Honda. Matter of fact, Repsol Honda's so lost, even Liam Neeson couldn't find him. He goes, listen, I possess a certain set of skills, and I have no idea what Repsol Honda is. If you know, tell me, and I'll try to find them. But until then, I have no idea where they are. And Luca Marini, did anybody see where Luca Marini is? They don't even talk about Repsol anymore. It's horrible. If I was Luca, I'd be like, hey man, we need to check this bloodline, because why would you send me there? He sent him to a sinking ship. That's basically the Titanic after the first hour. It's like, hey man, hey Rose, go ahead and get on this because I'm Jack and I'm about to go sinking. Okay? And they'll come after me with a submarine, okay? Just let me know at the bottom of the ocean. That's what Rossi did. He sent his brother to a sinking ship. And Luca went. Why did you go? You had a great gig when you were at the VR46 with your brother. Anyway, Yeah, I don't know why he did that. So, and like I said about Pedro, listen, I love Pedro Acosta. He's the future. You need Pedro. I love Pedro. But listen, and like somebody said, he needs to have that crash that makes him go, I want my mama. And that's what happened. He had the crash that made him go, I want my mama. That was a scary crash in the warm up. And I think it shook him. He acted like it wasn't, but I think that shook him up. So we'll see how he does in France. But he got points and he still was great. So we'll see what happens. But here's the way I see it. I think Jorge goes to Aprilia. I think Alicia's going to make that decision coming up in late May. I'm going to say May. Before Mugello, he's going to say, hey, I'm out. And then I think they're going to want Jorge Martin they're going to give him a factory ride. I think Maverick stays with Aprilia. They'd be perfect. And that's the way I see it. As far as the race goes, listen, man, Pecco doesn't get the credit he deserves. He really doesn't. Pecco's better than we give him credit for. We feel like he's been protected, but man, he's being schooled by Rossi, and Rossi's going to school him more because nothing will make Rossi feel better than watching Pecco beat up on Marquez. But if Marquez gets it, and he's, like he said, he's pretty much got it now. He's not riding it like the Honda. Oh my God. I mean, it was almost orgasmic. Yeah, I said it about another man. Orgasmic. Yeah, I said it. But it was watching Marquez ride the way he rode. Like it was like the old days, man. And I mean, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. That is must-see TV. You're on the edge of your seat. I don't know how anybody breathe. I don't know where people literally were fainting, like, because holding your breath, like, ooh, ooh, because when they hit each other, like they did in Portimao, when it was a racing incident, but it was Pecco's fault. It was a racing incident, but it was Pecco's fault. But still, I didn't want that to happen, and Marquez let up a little bit, and then he caught him up again. Then he ran the fastest lap of the race on his last lap. My God, it's going to be great racing. I'm going way too long on this. I mean, but like I said, the race, it definitely was the race of the year so far. And it's been great racing. That's the race of the year so far. Props to him. Props to Pedro for what he did in the sprint race. I think that warm-up crash shook him up. He'll be back. He's still great. Fabio gets my ride of the race for what he did from next to last. I think Ren should definitely stay with Yamaha. Motogp is just so great right now. But like I said, watch out for Marquez. When they get to France, Le Mans is going to be lit. It's going to be lit like a California forest fire. Yeah, Yogi Bear is going to be there. That's how good that's how good Le Mans is going to be. And only you can watch that race on MotoGP.com. Anyway, this is going way too long. Yes, great racing. Like I said, I'm talking out of my ass, but I think Alicia's going to retire and go to whatever. And I think Martin's going to go to Aprilia, but I don't know. But I just know they're treating the beast wrong, but I don't know where Marquez goes either. So anyway, talked way too long. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think. I got to go catch a plane. Anyway, until then, bye.